Alright people, it's John Cam back with another video, and in this video we're going to talk about attributes with inside of the tags. So in the last video we was trying to get the image to work, so I end up putting the image inside of a folder underneath the HTML, learning HTML folder that I created, which is pretty much here. If you can see it, learning HTML, which is on my desktop. I'm just dragging it over so you can see the folder. And inside of that folder, if I open it up, you'll see that I've added a IMG folder, which that's where my image will be inside of there. And I'm going to pull it up onto the actual web browser. So let's do that first. Let's add the image tag. So we'll do IMG source, and then it'll be under IMG slash, and then it's already generated there because it's know it's there already, so we'll just enter it, and that'll give me my image onto the web page. So I'm gonna save this, and that put my image right on the web page. Now let me kind of zoom it in here so you can see it a little bit better. More likely you won't be able to, but that's the image. It's pretty much full screen. You know, it's a big image, okay? But we can actually size this image by using attributes. So let's go back, and by just adding a width inside of there, and what it does is it does the width, and then it does the equal sign, which means it's assigning it to a particular width. So once we type something in between these double quotes, like let's say we want to do 300 pixels, so we'll do 300, and actually you do not have to use pixels when you're doing it inside of the tag. So when you use an attribute, you don't have to use pixels. All you have to do is use the number that you want to use in pixels, and it'll automatically generate that. So let's just see what happens when we put it at 300, and then we go back over there and see what happens. So we hit save, and we come back, and now the image is at 300. So it's a lot smaller. It's the size we want. It's proportional as well. Now inside of the image you can also use the height. Now when you use height, you will do it the same exact way. You say height, and then assign it to a number. So let's just say we want to assign it to 500. You know, it's going to make it really long, and it's probably going to stretch the image. As you can see here, it's really stretched out. And let me pull this up some. Yes, it's really stretched. So if you wanted to stay proportional, you want to probably not use a height when you're using the attributes with inside of the tags. So I never really use a height inside of tags at all. It's not really even necessary. Just let the width do the work if you're going to use it this way. But you can also use it in CSS, which I just use everything in CSS when I'm trying to manipulate an image, or you know, anything I want to try to manipulate, I do it in CSS, which would be, you know, the next program language that I'm going to show you after I'm done with the HTML. But that's pretty much how you do it. And also one more important thing when you're using images, the most important attribute you want to use is the alt attribute, which is ALT. And then once you use that one, this is where you're going to display what that image is. So this image here is an image of, and let me hit refresh. I didn't save it. Hold on, let me save it and hit refresh for it to look. Yeah, there we go. Now it looks better, right? So basically, you want to use alt on all of your images, and reason why I say that is because Google, it recognizes that, and it will kind of like ding your website if you don't have it have it in your image. So pretty much it'll kind of like lower your SEO. Let's put it that way. But you just type in what this image is. So this is an image. So you just say this is a image of whatever you want it to be. my work. And that's it. Now you're not gonna necessarily see this here. As you can see when you hit refresh, you can't even see that nowhere, that what I just typed. But if you let's just say you misspelled this, right, or the image disappeared from this location. Now I just misspelled, I just removed the L out of it, and I'm gonna hit save, and then I'm gonna go back. You're gonna see that it's gonna show that, attribute there. So some browsers may not show the image. So what it's going to do is going to generate these words. This is an image of my work, or whatever you decide to label this image as. So basically the alt is pretty much labeling what the image is. I hope you understood what I was saying. Okay. So those are a few attributes. Let's talk about a couple other attributes. So let's go out of here. And this time we'll just go out of image, and we will do like the P tag. Let's use the paragraph tag, right? And let's type in, what will we type in? I don't know. You could type in, let's just go back to hello world. It's just so easier just to say hello world, right? But you could type in anything you want. I don't care. Now there is other attributes that you can use, like you can use an attribute called ID, which means it's kind of like a badge number, if you think of it in that term. It's like, when you go to work, you get your own personal badge number, and it identifies you like a social security number. So this ID will only be specific to this one tag. And you cannot use the same ID twice. So if you name this ID as help, just for the heck of it, you couldn't. Let's just copy this whole thing and say Control D, and let's just say this was yeah. We'll just leave it like this, and we just change the name of this and say welcome, right? So you are not really allowed to do, you can do this, but it's going to read an error stating that you got a duplicate. When you start debugging your website, stuff like that, it's going to show that it has a duplicate ID, and it's not really allowed to be used. It may even mess up the website because it's a duplicate of the same thing. Now you can change this. If you just want it to be something different, then you'll say like got it. I don't know, just saying something, GAT, capital I-T. So we say got it. Now that these IDs are different, now they have two different IDs, and you are allowed to do that, but you're not allowed to have two help IDs on the same page, not within the same website. You can use this ID on another page, but you only can use it one per page, if that makes sense. Now, if you want to use one name for multiple items, you'll use the attribute called class, which is CLSS. You know how to spell class. I don't know what I'm talking about. And when you do this, this allows you to use this help any way you want to use it at, which is the most useful thing you can ever have when doing development. Because you can say you want to change the color of multiple things. All you have to do is use that class of help or whatever you decide to name it, and you can use it in multiple different areas, and it'll change it to, let's say, red. You want it to be red over here, over there, over there, and over there. All you have to do is just add class equals double quotes help in those areas that you want that color to be at. And it will just, every single area that you put it in, it will change to red. And I'll show you that maybe sometime later, but right now just try to understand that you can use class in for multiple tags, whereas ID you only allowed to use it one time on for each page, if that makes sense. All right, what other attributes are there that you would use? I mean, mainly, I would say that's mostly the most attributes that you'll use, except for like, okay, when you're using the button, which I'm pretty sure I showed you this already, but another attribute called type. Now, when you're using type, you can use multiple things, as you can see right here when it automatically generates. I can use this button type as a button. I can use it as a reset button, or I can use it as a submit button. These are the options that I can do. So I just, most times you're just more likely you're going to use it as either a button or a submit button. I'm just going to use it as a button, and that's it. And then you can also add, what else you can add? I'm trying to see. Well, we'll just keep it simple. Type, and like I said, you can use ID, you can use class, but I mean, that's just as simple as it gets. And then from there, you just close it out with a button, type in your button, and tell it to say, click me again. And then you can hit save, and it's gonna be just a button, same thing. I don't believe I showed you I did show you the A button, which is the anchor button, but I will have to show you in a way where it, links to a different page or links to something. But those are, some of the basic attributes that you would use in a website. There are more. As I stated before, when it comes to tags, there's a whole bunch more. But these are like the basic common ones. And I want to keep it basic. If you wanted me to go deeper, I can go deeper like in maybe a more advanced HTML. But for now, I prefer just keep it basic. Once you keep it basic, then you can move on to that, advanced. Well, it's not really advanced. It's just pretty much learning more about HTML. But I want to say that's it. I don't believe I have any other attributes other than your form. And I'm not really going to go through that, because when you start using those attributes, you're pretty much using that to link to a database or an email or something like that. But yeah, I will say that kind of concludes the video. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. And as always, if you have any questions, go to the comment section below and let me know what you thought. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.